In this video segment, we're discussing features of the estimating cost database, specifically in this training video, labor items. Architectural, engineering, and construction firms often use the term labor codes or staff types to identify the various occupations that are required on a project. These codes can be imported into an estimate and used for setting payroll rates for time cards. This feature can be found in cost database and in labor items. Notice that labor items are trade or craft specific, not employee specific. For this reason, you will not see an employee name in a labor item cost database. Labor items for architectural and engineering firms may take a different role than those used for construction, general contractors, or subcontractors. Labor items for general contractors and subcontractors are more geared toward an activity or task. Since labor items are also used to document union scale or prevailing wage workers, multiple rates for the same labor code may vary. There's a few important things to know. Labor items are shown both in estimating cost database and in the HR module. Labor items can be used as part of a cost database for estimating purposes. They can also be used as part of a crew rate, which combines labor items and equipment items as one component. Labor items can also be referenced in another cost database type called work items, and they also are referenced in a work item labor equipment productivity calculator. In an estimate, labor items can be added as a cost line item. They're also used in labor time cards. It's also important to note that optionally you can add your classification codes or master cost code lists, and labor items can be tagged or classified by those, making them easier to find and enabling an estimate to use the auto-populate to create the work breakdown structure as you're adding these items to a new estimate. Locations can also be used to create distinct estimating rates based on a geographical area. This is especially beneficial for contractors who perform work in various cities or counties. Back to the cost database. Labor items can be added to your database by two primary methods. The first being adding these manually. To add a new labor item to your cost database manually, from the cost database next to labor items, go to Actions and Add Manually. Step one is to add the labor item. We're going to give it a brief code. In this case, this is going to be a drywall finisher, so we're going to abbreviate that. There's going to be 8 hours per day on average. We're going to give it an estimating cost of $26 per hour and a burden rate of $3.25. Our total cost then is $29.25 per hour based on an 8-hour workday. You may want to add a proposal rate. We're going to say that's $47 an hour. Click Add and Next. Now we're going to classify this. So we're going to use our master cost code list. Click the magnifying glass, go to Finishes, to Gypsum Board, and select that. I could alternatively add the same labor item at the division level from the master cost code list, and then click Finish. If I choose to use the location specific estimating rates, I'm going to click the Add Location Rate. We'll give it a separate rate when they work in a specific state or geographic area, and a separate proposal rate. This is a feature used in estimating to override standard rates based on a geographic location. I could continue to add additional geographic locations with separate rates. When we discuss labor time cards under the Human Resource module, we'll also address project-specific time card rates. Classifications here. Back to the cost database. A second way of adding items is by importing from Excel. This can also be used to edit existing cost database labor items. Before we use this feature, let's go to the help articles, to getting started, to Corecon import options from Excel, and under the cost database, open the labor items option. The information on how to import these labor codes, labor items, and rates is included at the top of the article. The database fields available are also shown here, and there's a sample import template for you to use. I'm going to open that. For this example, we're just add a few new labor items. So we'll take out the items that we do not need, and we'll update these base cost rates and burden. I'm using formulas to update these burden rates and bill rates. When we import this, Corecon is going to ignore the formula and only import the result. Also, the default classifications are set to CSI 95. I'm going to change those to what I called my master cost code list. So we're going to replace 95 with 2016 and replace all. I'm going to create default cost codes that are already found in my master cost code list. Since I'm not using the third and fourth tier levels of my master cost code list, I'm just going to delete those columns. Now I'm just going to File Save, File Close, go back to the cost database, labor items, and I'm going to import from Excel. Choose the file, click Open. You can see all 8 records imported correctly. If Corecon encountered the same labor item or labor code already in my cost database, it will edit the existing labor code. If it did not find a labor code, it'll add a new one. Back to cost database, to labor items, we're going to click on the record count of 103. Let's take a look at one of the items that we imported. We see the rates been added, the hours per day, a default cost code. If I want to edit this, just click on the edit button, or I could also import changes from an Excel spreadsheet. As long as this labor item is a match, Corecon will update what you previously imported. Back to the labor item list, down to carpenters, information all been updated or added if a unique and labor item code is encountered. If you'd like to know more about this information, we encourage you to go to the help articles under cost database and labor items. You'll find the information covered in this training video as well as additional more detailed information available you may find helpful.